very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You're in violation of secure communication procedures, Condor.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
There is no America. There is no democracy.
Our fifth objective, a new world order.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West.
Right-wing conspiracy.
What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin?
A new world order.
Thank you for plugging in to the Stones Unturned podcast.
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
I'm your host, Professor Thomas Henry Horan.
He reads everything.
Oh, hello there, you magnificent betards, you. So it worked yesterday morning. So what's going to happen is this will go out public for 15, 20 minutes, something like that, and then we'll go members only. But maybe tonight I won't push it that hard because I've been trying to do an episode a day, if you want to call these episodes. There's so much now that needs to be tied up in the big sack. And so much that will tie it up in a big sack. What else do you need to know? Is that it? Oh, remember how great Canada was when they stood up to Trump? Remember that? Alberta separatists say they have enough signatures for referendum on leaving Canada. Oh, Canada. Sorry. What else is going on? Oh, yes, the crypto state is taking over the Strait of Hormuz. We'll get to that later. 9 concurrent viewers. I'm proud of you. You watch it. So let me explain again. As far as any streaming video, whether pre-recorded or live streaming, YouTube is it. So anything too ticklish for the tubes will be on the private website, which I've been working on another project. So what that will probably entail, I've been speaking of bureau speak, I have been speaking nothing but bureau speak for the last 9 months. Got a lot more bureau speaking left to go. Be that as it be, here's the thing. So what I'm looking at is I can put PowerPoints on my website. And you can just go through them at your own pace. And then if I reference like another episode, it will have a link that will open up that other PowerPoint. Because I can make a PowerPoint player on my website, a secure one. And that PowerPoint, streaming video, forget it. It's so expensive, except on YouTube. So what I can do is I can embed audio narration, which what I need to start doing is I need to audio narrate slides and then in between tie them together sort of thing. I need to start putting this stuff into a little bit of a structure. I just don't. Video is out because streaming video is out except on YouTube. But if they're PowerPoints, when I get them revised, or AI is going to help me do this. It's going to help me with the typing and the organizing. Then I can click a button and it will print it out as a book, as a PDF. Or you'll be able to play it on my website as a presentation. You just click next, and it can have chapters and everything's that way. That's going to take a little bit of time, but the miracle of AI means I will be that project is doable. Hi, Baby Bull. Hi, Angel. Hi, Alpine. Welcome back. Thank you very... Sheet. Where's the money? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money? Whatever. I will not subject you to my dirty laundry back here, which is where the money is. The money is ready to go out to be laundered. So I did not expect quite such a surge in return. So I don't know. I'm not past my bedtime, and I'm getting older every year. Morning shows are what I enjoy at the moment. What else do you need to know, if anything, about that? So as far as any streamed videos like this, see, I argue you don't need to see my face to enjoy the show. I'm not sure I want my face on any of the final stuff anyway. When it comes to publishing media, sometimes you don't want to be too specific. So, and it just makes production 1,000 times easier if I'm not on camera on the show. It's so much easier. I can put these together and do voiceover narration. It doesn't have to be my voice either. And start putting these things together so that they're hyperlinked better. People can, they're more useful for research, because I can set it. It automatically will print this out. My slideshows, it will print them out. The top half of the page is the slide. The bottom half of the page is all the notes with the references and everything. I've already got that figured out. So those are modular. I can just move slides around and things like this. So, or instead of copying and pasting slides. But we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I got so much for you guys to catch up on. So for the public, the non-paying, free-loading public, let me take a look. Let me show you. Before you get mad and leave, everything you can find on any crazy conspiracy theories about Sam Walton, Skinwalker Ranch, and the Bentonville property that supposedly had some pagan altars on it. Because that Ozark cannibal neck of the woods, to coin a phrase, right? Anything you got about that stuff? Because I can link him to Sam Carr, no problem. There are two dad Sams in the Sons of Sams, Sam Carr and Sam Walton. Anything that you can find crazy conspiracy theories about his sons, Sam Walton's sons. I know one of his sons was a Green Beret, right? We see the same time that Benjamin Netanyahu was in the Israeli Special Forces. Look into that for me. Crazy conspiracy. Tonight I'm going to jump into MLK because we haven't even talked about that. Because up until now, this whole thing has been lily white. But we need to talk about MLK. Because we know at RFK, now we're pretty sure there were two shooters. Whether there were two at JFK, we don't know. I don't think there were. Because that's a KGB disinfo prop. Propagandized by Soviet moles in CIA. Maybe even FBI. We're going to take a look at that in a second. So anything, especially about James Earl Ray, which I will talk about in a minute. But for the public, I need your help with this. You need to watch this documentary when you get a chance. It's free on YouTube right now, probably free with ads. I did not. You don't even need. I don't want to get a copyright sting. Here we go. I need to add that link to the description of this video. Can I edit that in Santa? Oh, Netanyahu took economics class from Susan Stein at MIT. Did you know that, Baby Bull? But thank you for that. He also grew up. He went to all the private boarding schools on the East Coast of the United States, right? But Sam Walton related Travis Walton. Isn't Travis Walton his son who was a Green Beret? Is that the one I'm thinking of? He had a son who was a Green Beret. You know, his kids own Casey's General Stores, the Broncos, the Denver Broncos. But any crazy conspiracy theories about him and Skinwalker Ranch, because I can prove he and Sam Carr was like this. And that's a big part of what we're doing. Where was I? Why did I do this? Oh, you don't need to see this. But you want to watch this documentary. Okay, I need to edit the description of this video. That's what I need to do. Instead of making you wait till later. Can I edit this in Santa? You may have to refresh your screen. This is a documentary about missing boys in Northern Ireland in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, should have worked. See if that worked. His father taught in Philadelphia. More information when you get a chance, please, Baby Bull. Netanyahu's father teaching in Philadelphia, because a lot of this keeps coming back to Philadelphia. 14 concurrent viewers. I'm proud of you guys. Here's the reason why you want to watch this. It starts off slow. They've got 5 boys that went missing in Belfast between 69 and 74. This goes back to a Northern Ireland pedophile ring involving senior British civil servants in Northern Ireland, involving the Orange Lodge, involving MI6, the Kincora Boys Home. This was they had several homes. They have tried to cover this up. And that Louis Mountbatten had abused boys at Kincora. People think that Louis Mountbatten abused the now King Charles III. What a dustbin of history name. For a dustbin of history king. Charles III, because the first 2 Charleses went over like lead fucking balloons. Charles III is like being called Hitler II. Well, maybe not quite that bad. It's, how about being called, who's the biggest fucking disaster of all time? Charles III. What the hell was your mother thinking? Because, you know, his father couldn't give him his name. Or was it, wait, it was Elizabeth. Elizabeth was supposed to be named Mountbatten. But that wasn't Louis, right? But had abused both Charles and it's Edward, right? Who's the one? Epstein and the Prince. Andrew, right? Andrew is the younger brother. And the father of Fergie. That he's obvious, you know, Prince Andrew's obviously got a problem. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Formerly Prince Andrew, Duke of York. The 3rd child and 2nd son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Younger brother of King Charles III. He's still eighth in line of succession. So if he becomes king now, it'll be a little obvious. Hey, if he has one drop of Plantagenet blood in his veins, don't put it past him. We're back, baby. Let the heads roll. Let the good times and the heads roll. Husband of Sarah Ferguson. Why that matters is because William McGrath he was real high in the Orange Order. He was like chaplain of the Orange Order. Real right wing. When something got disbanded and then he reorganized it as Terra. Okay? And yes, this is related to, because remember, as Irish as her father sounds, Scarlett O'Hara is Protestant. The roots of Terra lay in a group known as the Cell. This shadowy group, headed by the evangelist William McGrath. He took Bibles to Eastern Europe, so MI6 had him on the payroll. Right? If you don't remember the Loyal Orange Institution. Right? These are loyalist Ulster Protestants. This matters a lot because the truth came out that MI5 and MI6 had a lot of assets who were part of this pedophile ring linked to this school, the Kincora Boys Home, which had several locations. And there have been relentless allegations for 75 years or more about Louis Mountbatten. Well, Charles is crazier than a shithouse mouse. Everybody knows it. That's why his mother didn't want him to be king. But there wasn't anything she could do about it, because if she bumped him off, he'd too many witnesses. If he was eaten by corgis. McGrath was being blackmailed into providing intelligence on other loyalist groups. No, they didn't need that. Loyalist groups were MI6 right wing. He's being... But there are people, there's a intelligence officer in charge of Belfast at that time, says, just flat out says, yeah, they used to protect those people because they were working for us. Why this is important is because you know nothing about the Provisional Irish Republican Army. So watch that documentary. Watch that documentary. Let me set a timer here. So we'll go members only in 5 minutes. Level booster. So calling all cars, calling all Blue Blazer irregulars and provisional junior buckaroos in the tri-state. Whoa. Before you go. You need to go you need to go south of Huntsville, Alabama to Empire, Alabama, and you need to take pictures for me of this so-called crash site. I have 5 minutes. Can I change that? Nope. Okay. Let me bring it up on this. Let me show you that stretch of road. Is it in this PowerPoint? Maybe. No, maybe. It's all about the money. But this is where this guy supposedly crashed and burned his Tesla, and his body was burned beyond recognition outside. Let me just pull it up on, Google Maps. Empire, Alabama. It's very simple. It's about a quarter of a mile stretch of road where this car supposedly crashed. Oh, maps. Here we go. Now watch. Okay, where's the interstate? Here's Interstate 65. This guy supposedly got off Interstate 65 here, which is it Route 5? Here's Empire. Here's Interstate 65. So he apparently supposedly got off on, there's a Stuckey's in Hayden. This must be Hayden, Alabama. Route 5, south of Huntsville. Okay, Huntsville's up here. Drove out here and got off of Route 5 and crashed his car somewhere right along here on Hill Road. This is Empire. Here's the Empire Fire and Rescue Department. Half a mile down the road, there's this curve. It has to be this curve here because here's Drummond Switch Cutoff. Somewhere between here and here. Because there are no guardrails. There are plenty of farmhouses, but this is the closest to a place that has no farmhouses, really. That one's been torn down. There's no houses here. There's a guardrail visible right here. Okay. He supposedly went through the guardrail and bounced off 4 or 5 trees, and the car caught on fire and burned him beyond recognition. What was his name? I just need you to go out here and take pictures of this stretch of road. From here to the cutoff is less than a mile. And see if you can see signs of a car crash, let alone a 3,500 degrees Celsius Tesla fire that burned a Tesla to the ground. Nobody saw anything. There are no crime scene photographs that are taped off or anything. And this happened in February, is that right? Yes, Mountbatten was big in India. He was British commander-in-chief of the entire... Actually, he was Allied commander-in-chief in Asia. Ike was Allied commander-in-chief in Europe. Mountbatten was Allied commander-in-chief in Asia. Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, Dinah Tesla, drove her right into a pond and locked the doors in Texas. Oh, yeah. We'll look into that next time, Baby Bull. But he supposedly drove through a guardrail. So if you see a newly repaired, rusty guardrail and some trees that look like they've been burnt all to hell by a Tesla, please take pictures. If you can't find anything, please let me know. Don't drive 7 states to get there. But this is one of our missing UFO scientists. Here's Huntsville. That's where he came from. He supposedly drove all the way down here. But he went to the airport first and sat there for 4 hours. Okay? All right. When are we going? Members only.